Hello everybody, welcome to my first video. I'm just gonna be going over my, well, technically not 6-year account, but basically 6-year-old account. I've put a lot of hours into this game, so I just thought it would be pretty interesting and I put a lot of heart into it, you know what I'm saying? So I just thought it'd be kind of cool to go over everything. So I will say this, like, my best character, definitely Bressa. But this is just my friendship team, like, well, I always use the worst friendship teams because I love getting friendship time with everybody. Like, I want to do it with like all the characters I have one day, even if they're like level 1. We'll just start off with my Baressa because she's my pride and joy. I have her C2 R1. I only have, well, 4 characters with constellations that weren't free. Um, well, or standard, and she's one of them because I love her so much. And honestly, though, I had like C2 Eon-san on for her, like her first banner, and when she came back around, I was like, okay, I want to get some cons for Eon-san, like, you know, like this is ridiculous. And I ended up getting C2 Versa and C5 Eon-san. Thankfully, I got my last copy from the standard banner, but it was just so crazy that like I can pull 3 5-stars, well, 3 limited 5-stars in the time to get 1 C6. Not even. I didn't even get the C6, which is crazy. But anyways, also if I look back, it's because I'm looking at my cat. He's up there and he's really cute. So I do like to look at him because he's a baby. And I have 3 cats. So I mean they might wander in, because they're silly. Regardless. Triple Crown, of course. And so for my artifacts, I have 95 over 205, bunch of attack, of course, and at C2 ER is useless. At C0 you want like a bunch of ER, but like obviously that's not me. But anyways, so first I have this flower. I'm it's decent. Over 40 CV, but no attack. I don't know. It's okay. This flower. So I like this flower. It's fun. Has a bunch of crit rate. Eventually, I want to change to this flower. Once I get a good offset electro goblet, because my goblet luck is terrible on Long Night's Oath. My sands, I did craft it, but I did not reroll it. It rolled perfectly. So I'm pretty happy with this. This is bad. Like I'm gonna be straight. I have crafted 4. They are all 4 or 3 liners, and they're all mid. And Baressa deserves the best. So obviously, one day I'm gonna get a great goblet. I'm not crafting anymore. Like I wasted so much crafting these horrible things. I can't stomach it anymore. And then I got this natural. It's beautiful. Like, could it be better with a little more crit damage instead of attack? Yeah, but like, I am not that picky. Also, what is that? Okay, I don't even know why I have that locked. That is, who would ever use that? I do not know. That's terrible. But anyways, yeah, I've been obviously farming this for a while. Well, I mean, not obviously, but like, it's a good number, I suppose. Anyways, she's my crown of joy, or pride and joy. Oops, I don't know why I said crown, but like, you know what I'm saying? I usually run her, obviously, overload, and I use Durin on Noblesse. I have, his build's nothing impressive, except for this crazy thing. This piece, like, it's so beautiful. Like, I could shed a tear. Um, just normal, you know, normal Durin, I guess. Lion's Roar, Double Crown, and obviously I use Chevy and Yansan. Yansan, Crown, C6, Pav, Scroll. That's decent. It's nothing super impressive. My Chevy, over enough attack or enough HP. C6, and then of course like these are like nothing, so it doesn't even matter. Also on Fav, but R1 because like what's her crit? Like nothing, so like it's dumb. Um, and I do have Malvika. I do prefer using Durin. I just find him more fun. Um, and like, and I do like Malvika, but I do like Durin better simply because if Malvika was in her like I forget like her other outfit that was in like stories and stuff, like that would be perfect and beautiful. This outfit is just like pretty bland to me. Like she's still gorgeous, and I love her hair and her eyes especially. Like, and she like is especially this like that's so cool to me at least. And I love her weapon as well. I just wish her outfit was not what it is, but and then first is crowned. I'll eventually crown this. Maybe one day. I just don't really. My heart isn't filled with joy for this character, so I'm just kind of like whatever on it. And she's on scroll right now. Normally I do run her on Obsidian, but like with Molani, I run her on scroll, which is just ignore that. Her build's not that impressive, anyways. So I don't want to like hype it up. Nicole, of course, on Atlas 9. I am gonna crown her skill. I'm gonna get her burst to 8. Still working on that as well. She's not so new, but she's newer, so of course eventually we'll do that. Of course on gift, I do not have 4K attack without pyro resonance, but with it I do. Um, and some ER I suppose is standard Nicole build, and she's just for friendship right now. But I do want to level her. I do want to get her. She's so cute. I used to be a full Klee main. My first 36 star was with Klee, and I got her C4 from the Constellation Selector. I only had C3 before. Um, when I pulled C3, I don't regret C2 at all, but I don't know why I got that, but like I guess it did get me to C4, which is pretty good for her. Um, I was I was a child, and it was a very interesting decision, but I don't exactly regret it. I love Clay now. She's awesome. She's cute. Triple Crowned, of course. Also, the way this is the one that gets leveled up, not these two, is just so funny to me. Like it just shows the age of the character. Of course, on her on Rising Winds, and I have her on Lost Prayer. This is so funny. I don't have Nuvolette, but I pulled this weapon for her to play. Like it was her best weapon with when you play Klee with Farina. Of course that you don't play her in Hex stuff now, so it's pretty sad. It's just does nothing. A whole 5 star, but it's fine. I guess if I needed, I can switch these two out if I truly wanted to. She's she's fine. Her build's not super impressive, but it's not trash either. For the most part, obviously I am a horizontal investment type person, so, but my second out of 4 that I pulled on purpose, I suppose, limited constellations. Farina C1, it's not as good now as it used to be, but I do not regret it, and I also love this character. Who doesn't love Farina? Like, girl's awesome. On Fav, of course. Tenacity, I do use her with Skirt. Just standard build, double crown. My Linnea, R1. I am a believer in Fashion Impact, so I do have more weapons than I do like constellations. I will say that. Just, I think my build's very good. I'm so happy I got the circlet, and it doesn't look that good, but I crafted it, and it is a 4-liner with EM. My jaw on the floor when I got this, and I will use my feathers to change it out at some point. And I just removed like a little thing, like don't mind that. Let's see. Yeah, just pretty standard build. Crown, an 8. And I like Linnea so much more than Zabai. Obviously I have pink hair, and pink is my favorite color. So any character with pink, you can probably assume I love that character, except for Dory. She's like, I do not like Dory very much. Like, she's a fun character, but like, who likes Dory? No, no hate to Dory fans, but like, that's not me. um, mine's a vibe. Honestly, just kind of whatever. I am okay with her build. Like, it's acceptable, but like, it's not super impressive. I do have this feather. Um, where is it? It's Uber Crit Feather. So I have this feather, and I can change her to Peak or Shalonen's weapon. Because I do have. Technically, this is better than Harbinger, I believe. Maybe I'm crazy, but I thought it was. Um, Crowned in 10. Normally, my formula is I crown what's like uber good, and then I 8 what's like good. Like, obviously, I'm not bursting on Shalona a whole lot, but I did, of course, get it to 8 along with her and her burst. It's just kind of what I do, unless I love the character. Scroll, just standard scroll build, nothing impressive. My Chaska, I like this character, but I pulled her more for exploration. I find her exploration like way more, like, I guess, way more fun than like just exploring with other characters. I think she's awesome in that aspect. Like, flying around on a gun is crazy. Like, if you told me like 2 years ago that I would be able to fly around on a gun in Genshin, well, I guess I'd be starting that one, but like 1 year before that, so I guess 3 years. Like, I would be shocked. I should counter E because it's very good, and but I don't use her in endgame content except for theater. But like, she's still fun. Like, I still like to use her. I like to use her for friendship teams, especially. Um, Probably will crown this, and I'll get this one more level. Just haven't yet. Her build is very mediocre. Malvika gets first dibs on them pieces, but so she gets the leftovers. Venti, just VV, very boring. My skirt, 10, 8. I have her weapon, and this character, I obviously, my Versa, you know, I was in that domain for so long, and my skirk is so bad. And on top of that, I have since her artifact set was in the strongbox. That's the only thing I'm in strongboxing. And her build is still mediocre. Like, like it's just not great. Like, there's not even crit damage. Like, this feather, I do like this feather. I'm happy with this. This is okay. Like, this is bad, and it's my off piece. Like, this sucks. Like, and this is not great. Like, none of it's great. Except for the flower or feather. Oops, my flower sucks too. But like, is what it is, I suppose. And I do have her signature. Um, it looks gorgeous on her, and I love it. Scoffier, Fav, Obsidian. Hello, Noblesse. I meant, of course. She does share the attack goblet sometimes, but just for if I need both of them, she has this one, even though it's 1,000% worse. And then 10-8, as you know, it's okay. It's nothing impressive. Sitlali, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for Sitlali's skin. She looks so cute, and I love this silly character so much. I have her Sig, and I am pulling for Sandrone and her Sig. So if I get another Star Caller's watch, I won't even be mad. I pretty sure it's better. Like, it's good on Nicole, so Nicole might be taking that if I get a second copy. Even though her attack goes down, the buffing from the Sig is worth it. Scroll. This annoys me so much. I wish I had over 200 ER, but and guys, if you do not have over around at least, obviously I don't have over 200, but like, your Sitlali, girl's never bursting. I have them both at 8. I do use her on a Skirk team a lot. I don't use her with Malvika a whole lot. just because I don't like Mavika a whole lot. Like there's nothing wrong with her, of course. I just her outfit really bothers me. Like, or it doesn't bother me that it exists. It bothers me that it could be so much better. It's like the lost potential. It's very sad. Um, and of course, I got Ayaka. I don't like this character. Never did. I pulled her on her COVID banner, which was so long. And that's the only reason why I have her. I do not like her. No hate to Ayaka fans, but I think she looks like an egg. But it's fine. I have a Nefa and her Sig. Her Sig is so cool. Oh my gosh, the other day, one of my viewers on Twitch told me it looked like a pizza cutter, and I cannot get that out of my brain. I will never forget that, ever, because it does. And I am now cursed with this knowledge, and you will be too, that this looks like a pizza cutter. Um, but it still looks cool. And I love Nefa, she's cute. Of course, this is her split. She needs more crit rate, honestly, like, but I don't play her that much, so I'm not too worried about it. I could probably find something with more crit rate here eventually. Maybe I could, like, now. Um, okay, so this, but like that's, I don't know. I'll figure it out at some point. Um, and this is what my Linnea was on before, but of course, because I crafted that amazing piece, now she's on that. Raiden, emblem, the catch. Okay, build, I suppose. Um, I do want to crown her burst because I want her echo, and I'm unable to do it. Like, I have tried 1,000 times, and my Raiden, girl's not doing it, and I need her to start doing it. So I'm gonna do that eventually. Llama, double crown. Ether light. I think my build's kind of crazy. I am on two piece EM. Um, but I think my build is, I'm pretty impressed with my own build. Like, I think, girl, this is crazy. But the ER is kind of wasted because I do a lot of the time use her with Fav Nahida on Deepwood, which is fine, I suppose. But Bina, R1, um, SMS, just a pretty standard build. Nothing too impressive. I am happy with her build, except for this. I have re-rolled this probably 3 times, and I cannot get this attack roll elsewhere. So it is what it is. My Mulaney, she is my final character that I intentionally pulled cons for. I have her C1. I might pull her C2 in the future. I think it's fun, and I do love Mulaney. She's really cute, and I know everybody hates her gameplay, but I like little sharkies, and her Sig is so cute. I'm so happy. Double crowned, um, decent split. I think my Mulaney's pretty good. The only like missed roll I have is on her circlet, and it's in the ER. And honestly, some ER is nice on Mulaney because then you can burst, more consistently. And her burst is decent. Nilu, I got her C1 from the selector on Iron Sting. Just pretty boring, standard build. Honestly, most of them are just on a standard build. I have Hutau's skin. Except I will show my Nefer because I'm really impressed with her. 80 out of 90, since getting her to 90 does nothing. I probably will one day just because she's not like back here with him. I do not like him. Oh, I have a C1. I did not mean to get this, and I wish I didn't have it because lame. R1, C0, crowned 8, and I'm pretty happy with my build. I have debated whether to re-roll this because it's missing one, which is so sad, but I don't know if I will. And if only imagine this went into crit damage. I would be, or crit at all, like that would be amazing. And I did re-roll this. Crafted 2 of these. This one was a 3-liner, this was a 4-liner, so of course I re-rolled this until it was good. And honestly, just kind of standard for most things, except I have him. I pulled for Ito and Sino on their first banners. Why did I do that when I don't even care enough to level them? I do not know. I definitely want to at some point, especially with Sino's new buffs. Um, and I got Wander from losing a 50-50, so I'm not mad that I like don't care. But I don't know. I do want to level them one day, and of course, I do have Aloy, which is interesting, but she's very boring. I don't really care that I have her or not. I know some people do though. I will show my archive just because I think it's pretty neat how I have like a bunch of characters. I don't know, and I am pulling for Yai. I wanted to pull her before her buffs, and I think like and she has pink hair, like I need her, and I have like an Electro symbol tattoo on the back of my neck, and she has pink hair and is Electro. Like, I need her. I need her. Um. So yeah, that's I guess interesting. My exploration is pretty. I don't want to say embarrassing, but you'll see. You'll see. So I 100% Dragon Spine, Leeway, the Chasm. Uh, I forget what the series is called, but Fontain. We're gonna skip over that. Nod Cry, Natlan, of course, all 100%. We're gonna go down to Inazuma, 100%. And even these areas, 100%. All of them, all of them. And then we go to Sumeru, and this is very sad because I don't even have this area. I know it's so bad, and I don't have the desert, which is also so sad, and it's really embarrassing. But I'm slowly getting there. One day, I keep telling myself, but then I procrastinate. But it's fine. Um, what else? Of course, I have Max. What is it? Adeptal. Oops. Coin production, which if you guys don't, it's honestly pretty easy. You should get on that. I'm so sad. I have such an ugly teapot. Um, but I'm growing these plants for an achievement, so like I can change my layout to like make it actually cute, which is lame. But anyways, let's go back to Mondstadt. Um, so I love getting achievements. It makes me feel accomplished, achieved. I think it's fun to achievement hunt a little bit. I don't do it too crazy, but every once in a while, I try to get on that. Um, so I have 1,563 currently. I'm just, always slowly trying to get more. Eventually, hopefully, I'll have all of them one day, and my Sumeru completed. Um, and for the DPS I love the most, it's Mulan, Nefer, or use the most. I shouldn't say love the most, but at least use the most is these three. So, and they are all above like top 1% on Akasha, which I'm pretty happy with, especially my Vressa. Um, and of course, I have 60 friendship or 60 characters. I do want all of them, and I don't even know how many characters are in this game, but I want all of them. Um, that I can, at least. So I think that would be so nice if I could. But anyways, these are all my weapons that I have. Oh, I forgot about Euless. I have Eula and Ursig. I forgot about that. Um, It's only at level 80. I'm gonna 90 it one day. But it just feels bad because unfortunately, Eula's no good. Like, even I try her to play her in theater, and girl's barely doing anything, and I'm like, I feel sad. But maybe if I level 90 her weapon, she would do something. I am currently trying to farm the Deep Shadow or Disenchantment. I don't know what people call it, but it's going horribly. This set hates me. I don't know what's going on, and I need two of them for Yai and Sandrone, and it's going terrible. Like, I have some double crit, but the double crit is bad. Um, yeah, it's going very, very bad. So I don't even have one set at all. But I'm gonna keep farming. I have already pre-farmed for these things for Yai. I do always recommend pre-farming. Pre-farming is the way of life. If you don't, if I don't pre-farm, it feels awful. To build a character, at least for me, I love pre-farming. I have currently a K saved up. Um, and I'm trying to pull 5 stars next patch, which is Yai, Sandrone, and her weapon. So hopefully I at least win the weapon banner, because I would rather lose on the character banner, and I would most rather lose on like Sandrone's banner, because I lost to my 50-50 on Nicole's banner, so then I'd be at counter 2 for the capturing radiance. And I've only triggered capturing radiance once, and it was for Chaska. And it was at 10 pity, so that was really fun. The thing I'm gonna do next is just look over, my records of endgame, because I think that's fun to see. Of course, as I stated previously, Klee was my first 36 star with Mualani. That was at the start of Natlan was my first 36 ever. Um, so I didn't really touch Abyss. Like, I only had Klee and Hu Tao, and it was bad. So I didn't really try, obviously, for a while. But then, of course, Mualani and Klee, my first ever, and I was so happy. And people were helping me try to build my teams and stuff. I was very clueless, so it was good times. Um, and of course, ever since I have 36 starred, which has been a while. And now I use Faressa and Nefer or Mualani typically, and Mualani or Faressa's just blowing them up. She's just so good. Um, and for theater, which personally is my favorite, I love theater. It is so much fun. At least to me, I find it, the most enjoyable. It's feels dynamic and interesting, and it could be harder. It's pretty easy if you have enough characters, but I find it very fun, especially because I attempt to get every star. So let's see. So, and at one point I didn't try to get every star because they gave nothing good, but oh yeah, here's where I started. So not quite a full year, but almost. Well, sort of almost. Yeah, I of course missed the best mode here. I'm not sure what happened. Honestly, I probably had enough characters. I don't know what I was doing, but when and you'll see in Stygian when endgame modes are new, I become clueless for some reason. And this was not me. I was I was studying abroad in Japan, and so for this one, I could not play Genshin, unfortunately, and I had one of my friends do it, which is completely fine. One miss theater. This I find lunar mode the mode way more fun than any other mode, and so especially using C6 characters. I think I used C6 Arlecchino. That was so fun. I can experience using characters I've never or C6 Nuvolette. I don't even have Arlecchino Nuvolette, and I do want Arlecchino one day. I think she's really cool. Just haven't pulled her yet. C6 Farca, I'm assuming Nuvolet. Yeah, I use C6 Nuvolet a lot because I find him very easy, and it can be with like anybody. I don't know how I feel about Sijian. Like it's okay, but I think it's too difficult in a lot of ways. Like at least Fearless, like Dire being as difficult as it is, completely fine in my opinion. But like Fearless should be easier. That's my take. Um, so my first, I don't know what I was doing here. Um, so obviously I had no clue, and I just used Moblika on everything and did hard mode. At least I got the primos. I don't even think I got like the feather from like getting artifacts here. I just was clueless. I'm gonna be so for real. Um, and this was not done by me actually. A YouTuber named Flip had done this for me, and I remember my team, like I was so clueless. I like tried to use Malvika and Sitlali instead of Hutao and Yelan, like the worst team ever, maybe. The zero synergy. But this was the team, and this was of course clearly before I had C2 Faressa, and the rest of it. So I used this team, the Chaska team. I definitely could have just done something way easier, but you know, I did it. You know, even though I was using very interesting teams over here, except for Mulani's team. This is a good team over here. Um, but yeah, and if you don't know how this crab works, you have to like bloom on it. So that's why Llama's very good. Um, and so of course after that, I have never not done Fearless. I was able to do Dire um, twice, which was pretty fun. This was, of course, is Gene Cheese, but like these two, oh my gosh, and you can see right here my C2 Vressa and C5 Eonson. Insane. 4 stars in this game are terrible, and I have Linnea and Zabai, and I have C1 Ilua, not even C2, so I can't even run SMS on him, which is crazy. It's very unfortunate. So I usually run a Nefa in the 4 slot just because it's like the same, which sucks, but it is what it is. And of course, this was before Bina existed. Um, and this, you can see obviously, there she is. So this was a pretty, pretty easy dire for me at least. And for this crab, this was like so silly. I love this team because it has an innate pyro aura for most of the fight. So, you know, they can all do their own things. Um, and Mulan can still evade, which is awesome. And then Fearless. Unfortunately, I could not do Knuckle Duckle on Dire. I think my verse is extremely strong, and she wasn't able to, which is very sad. And I think this Knuckle Duckle was the beginning of evil, in my opinion, of Dire. For this, like these, I can't like not doing Dire. Like I was just bad, honestly. But then once I got teams, you know, these three solid teams, my Varessa should be able to do Dire, especially you know, my Varessa is just, I think she should be able to do this Knuckle Duckle. Flynn's, whose shield boss it was, even struggled sometimes, which is very unfortunate. And I would, of course, use Sneffer, but I think technically optimal is um, Varessa's here, Skirk here, but my Skirk's not good anyways, but it is her shield boss. And this, honestly, this kind of solidified in my mind where Dire just went wrong. I was unable to do this Dire. My Varessa and my Nefer blew up Dire. Okay, my Zabai, who I have R1 on Linnea, Bina, and Anefa. The only one that who doesn't have a signature is Zabai, and I have solid builds on all of them. You know, they're not the best ever, but they're good. And I wasn't able to do Dire, and that's like really like I was just like pretty disappointed with that because you know people who it's like have have Zabai or like lose. And I know Navia was able to do it, but it's like, and I know Malvika, of course, Malvika can do like everything, with enough investment. But besides that, besides like Overload, and I think Skirt could also do it. She could brute force it. Like a very few number of characters were able to do even Fearless, and I think that's ridiculous. Um, and I don't think that's right. I think the average player with decent builds should be able to do, and decent characters. Like obviously, if you can't if you only play with the best Diluc ever, it's like okay, you shouldn't be able to clear it. Unfortunately, Diluc is like a standard character and like very old. Like I understand that, but like if you have Navia and a good build on Navia, it should be not easy, but like it should be pretty decent to be able to do it with a Farina team. It shouldn't have to be like Lunar, in my opinion. But you know, if you want to run Navia on this, you have to have Lunar, which I think is lame. Um, this again, um, I think the Watcher is an extremely cool boss. This third boss, I think it's really awesome. The Hydrotopal, you know, I don't really care. It's like fine. This wolf sucks, and like I just think it has too much HP. And I wasn't able, my Mulani, who is, I think very good, wasn't able to do it. And of course, I use Hex stuff. I didn't use this team. I used uh Malvika, Mona, and Zugros. And for this bottom team, I used Nefer when I tried Dire. Of course, I didn't actually do it, and then Vressa would blow up Tulpa easily. Um, and my Nefer was able to do Watcher, and I didn't try the Tulpa, but she could do it. I obviously, but anyways, my Mulani wasn't able to do it, and I just find that really unfortunate, And I like it's crazy how this boss isn't even good for Varka, even though it's his like shill boss. Because how did they fail at shilling Varka? It just shills Malvika, which like she's great anyways, but like pretty much everything that I think is pretty cool. Of course, I am caught up with our conquest, and if anyone has any questions, you know, feel free to ask me. And definitely, I stream on Twitch, so definitely follow me on Twitch and subscribe, I guess, if you want to. Like, yeah, thank you, and have a good day.